Hello, this is Dave, and welcome to Equity Story. I apologise about yesterday not being able to hear the wolf too well. A lot of you sent emails in actually saying you prefer that, but unfortunately we do need to hear the wolf, and hopefully the sound is much better today. But just like to say, this is general share advice and not personal advice, and please read the disclaimer on the website.
Maybe if we move forward, maybe we can have someone with sign language as well, so you can see exactly what I'm talking about.
Well, maybe you could do sign language as we're talking.
I don't know how. I don't want to embarrass myself. I don't know, and this is serious stuff. So maybe with time,
well, if you like the stock, maybe a thumbs up. If you don't, okay. Thumbs down.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, basic, like Caesar at Rome.
Okay.
Live or die.
When we want to stop you talking, it's this, yeah?
Yeah, definitely. So let's start with Wesfarmers,
yes.
Because, and the daily's not looking as good as the weekly, but at the moment, unfortunately for me, as a trending stock, it's a down. Mm-hmm. Wolf, for you, fundamentally, you like the story and you've got this, and you're happy. Yeah, you're up on it, and you're happy to look on this on a monthly as a longer term play.
Yep.
But was the announcement today, was it up or down?
No, it was a positive announcement. They're talking about the API acquisition, and the ACCC is not going to oppose, which is excellent news. So, that seems like now it's going to go through, and API will be under the wings of Wesfarmers, which is positive.
Excellent. So it's looking pretty good, Wolf. And like you said, if you're a long-term investor nibbling away at Wesfarmers around these levels, there is a little bit of support here on actually the weekly. But let's go for the monthly, because this is a lot. And there, again, that monthly support is there, Wolf, at the moment. So nibbling away around this level, if it went a little bit lower for the long-term investors, very, very happy to nibble a little bit of Wesfarmers.
Yes.
Wolf, ARF. Mm-hmm. You always like stocks which have upgrades. Now this has a buy signal. There's a bit of resistance at 5, but it's got a buy signal. It's got an upgrade. Can I give it 2 thumbs up or just 1?
You can give it a 1.5 thumbs up. I mean, it's an upgrade, but it's a tiny upgrade. But it's yeah. Not a thumb, just like that. It's a tiny upgrade, but it's an upgrade nonetheless. It just tells you that it is still going quite well and strong. And if you just look at the highlights, which they put it up on their presentation today, you've got a profit that's up 200%. That's a statutory net profit. You've got EPS that's up 10%. And nice, the fact I like that it is not too highly geared. It's only 18.8. And the distribution, and it is obviously the key, because this is all about dividends, right? So distribution is going up from 15.8 to 16 cents per security. So this is an increase of 8.1% on FY21 dividend per share. So a slight upgrade to the distribution, but it's almost an 8% up from the previous corresponding year. So that's pretty good. If you like the company, if you like the charts, definitely one to probably go with. Let's just have a look what is actually trading on, as in the actual PEs.
I've got around 10, Wolf, and the old dividend I've got around 3.1, but you might have a little bit higher than that.
No, I think you got pretty much the same as you. 10.3 versus 3, so fairly similar, Dave. So look, it's maybe a trade stock than a dividend stock more than anything else, because remember, we don't get out of bed for anything less than 7.
Yeah.
So in this case, maybe it's just a trade.
So really, I think dividend stock down.
Yeah.
A trading stock, I think we could find better, down. So well, we did like it. There's a lot to like about it, but unfortunately, when you look into it, we've really confused everybody now. But
no, I think you should give it a thumbs up for a trade. I mean, it's cheap, 10 times. It's growing. It's got fundamentally it's got everything going. The only thing it doesn't have is a dividend, like the other things. But we're not buying this for the dividend. We're buying this for the.
Okay. So listen. If someone wants to trade it, they're very welcome to.
Thank you.
But it's not
very harsh on it. It's not bad.
But it's not going on my list.
Okay.
But if you are going to trade it, stop loss just under 450, and hopefully can go on with it. It will be on Einstein's on the weekend. Okay.
Fair enough.
Oh, Wolf. Now, they've been asking our beautiful members for a while, Wolf, to give me some of your favorite stories in America.
Yes.
And this is what we're going to do right now. So,
yes, we are top five, and the reason I just wanted to hold back, I just wanted to see some quarterlies come through before we make a play on some of these stories. So we got a top 5, and this is not the top fangs. This is more of my favorites in very good themes, right? That potentially can give you that really good growth over the next 5 to 10 years. So some of them have been smashed, some of them haven't been smashed. But anyway, I'll give you my top 5, and you can put on your watch list. And actually, there's probably 1 or 2 that are looking pretty good buys, Dave, at the moment.
All right, well, let's start with Twilio, TWL.
Mm-hmm.
Looks awful technically, maybe a little bit of support down here, but it's certainly it's not one that I can get too excited with, Wolf. Let me have a look at this on the monthly.
Okay.
It's even broken monthly support, so technically it's got a lot of, it's got legs down, thumbs down, everything's down, but however all right, so go on, tell me about it.
All right, so Twilio is almost, to me, the antithesis of the Facebook and Google, where companies can bypass the advertising through Google and Facebook and use Twilio instead. So they've got technology, tech technology, right, where they can send communications, advertisements, whatever they want, through to their clients, members, any companies, using the Twilio tech, which is brilliant, right? I think there's a lot of companies crying out for stuff like that. And you can see by their growth that they've come up with, I think that was last night, pretty good result, or the night before. Looks very strong. For me, this is the future, I think. I think that the models of Google and Facebook are probably going to be under pressure. So Twilio might be taking the reins, or at least encroaching onto their space without the need for going through the third parties. The companies that really can decide your fate, and this is not right. So the companies are taking back their responsibility and the power back. I like it.
All right, so maybe what I would do if you took a long-term approach, I think there are still issues with the market at the moment, Wolf, and I think I'd like to see Twilio trade a little bit higher, and maybe I'd trade it off the monthly using the monthly stop loss if I was going to buy it.
Yep, and the other good thing is it is not expensive. It used to be expensive. Now that got smashed, it's trading at about 10 times EV, which is pretty good.
Wolf, team. Now, it's been a fantastic story because you recommended this to Equity Story members really back in I think 2018. Since then, it's been on a fantastic run and hardly ever broken trend until last month, just with this sell down, it sort of all the stocks came down. But you see the really good stories have fought back very, very well, and technically, you've got a like team, and team for me would be at the moment for me is looking like a buy if it ends the week like this in America. Tell us a little bit about team. I know it's Australian, so we're a little bit biased, Aussie, but apart from being Aussie owned, tell me why you like team.
Oh, look, it's a collaboration software. They've been around for some time. The Aussie obviously is a big part of it, but really it's about the growth. They've been delivering the numbers for the last 5, 6, 7 years. Strong performances. I think most of the time, most of the quarters, they've either hit guidance or outperformed it. There've been very, very few times where they've disappointed the market. So overall, Dave, you got to like the story. It's not cheap. It's a market darling, but you have to pay for quality sometimes. And I can't see that slowdown happening anytime soon. And I love the fact these guys are going pretty much opposite to what everyone else does. So they are actually encouraging everyone to work from wherever they want to. Don't come to the office, work from home, wherever. So they are attracting top talent as a result. It makes a huge difference, Dave, to your business.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks, Wolfie. Absolutely. Now, SE.
Yep.
So I mean, it trended absolutely beautifully. It's obviously broken trend. This one, Wolf, technically, before you give us the fundamentals, there's an argument. There is a little bit of support on the monthly, and maybe a great story like C, you have a long-term approach. This is, for me, technically, I get it. You might nibble away on a monthly around here if you had that long-term sort of 5-year outlook.
Yeah.
Short-term traders or shorter-term outlook wouldn't be getting in just yet. It just needs to do a bit more. But it looks like at least it's found support in its pivoting, Wolf. Tell me why you like C so much.
Well, look, it ran way ahead of itself, but that's for sure, right? The hot tech space really took it up on a really strong run. Now it looks attractive. It's almost halved, even maybe 60% down, and now trading on 9 times EV sales. The beauty about this, I love this. There's a two-prong factor here. It's Asia-based, right? So the huge market. It's in the fintech space and it's in the gaming space. So for me, 2 big things, especially the gaming side of things, because obviously we are following that space pretty closely. So the growth is still there. It is still growing at a phenomenal rate. It's going global. There's a lot to like about it, Dave, and now even more so with the come down to the 9 times EV. So for me, I just have to see. Obviously, you're probably going to tell me you're going to see a little bit more out of it, but for me, a thumbs up from fundamentals for sure.
Brilliant. Yeah, no, like I said, I think if you had that long-term approach, Wolf, you could look at this from the monthly chart.
Okay.
Next off the list, I mean, I don't know if we're too late here, Wolf, but because it was up 12%. D-Dog, Datadog.
You're not too late, by the way, on D-Dog. Look, we just had to see what they're going to come up with, and they came up with this morning. So, I know 12%, but let's buy positivity, right? Let's not buy negativity. Let's buy something that's delivering excellent. This company, you got to like it because it's in the cloud space. It's actually helping a lot of these companies in the cloud space to monitor, being efficient and everything else. So for me, another great story over a long period of time. I'd be looking to acquire this over the next whatever.
And what are they trading on, Wolfie?
So this is not a cheap story, right? But it is a really strong growth story. So I'd say it probably might come back to that highs before it sort of peters back again. So I'm not in a hurry to buy this, but it's straight. Let me tell you what it's trading on. It's trading on 33 times, which is quite expensive.
Yeah, I think that's it. That's the issue with it is, we want to buy things which are going up. That's the important thing. But unfortunately, the market is just jittery at the moment, and a lot of stocks that normally go on, they're sort of not everything's going on with it. And I agree with what you're saying, Wolf. It'll most probably come up and test that 200, but there'll maybe be an opportunity in the next few months to get it back around, because we're not sort of trading these. We want to make long term. Yeah, long term. We're in bed while these are. We're fast asleep while they're moving up and down. So it's sort of long term ideas. But I think if you're looking at this around that 141 or 150, if the market gets a bit jittery, then maybe happy days, Wolf.
Yeah, as long as it gets there, because really the markets applaud. Even it's trading at 33 times, the market applauded it last night. So is it ever going to come back again? That's my only question. So maybe you could just stagger your buying if you are liking the story over a long period of time. Stagger your buying, like we've talked before. Once a week, put a little bit in and accumulate it over the next 3 months.
Yeah, I love that. I love that system. It's great, isn't it? Just gradually edge in. Wolf, I know we don't trade US stocks, but if these FNT looks like this by the close on Friday, you'd be buying it for a trend up to 350. So good looking chart for a trend at the moment. But obviously we're looking at these more long term. Long term, happy to do the same, Wolf. Would you start nibbling away on FTNT?
Yeah, look, it is one of my favorite stories. It's in the cybersecurity space. So remember, this is another really strong long-term thing for me that I love. So FTNT is in my own little personal portfolio that I've got, and it's a great performance. You can see really it hasn't had much of a pullback really when you look at some of the other stories out there, right? The other positive thing with it is actually profitable too. It's not it's got a big PE, but on the EV basis, it's not too expensive. It's trading on about 15 times, but they keep delivering. And this is one of the few cybersecurity stocks that actually is profitable and growing and managing their cash flows very, very well. So FTNT is probably the pick for me out of that whole space. So yeah, I'm liking it.
Brilliant, Wolf. Absolutely fantastic. So I think Zscaler we like as well. It's got a good chart, but we're just going to wait for those to report. They haven't reported yet. Is that correct?
Correct, yeah. So I think, Fortinet has reported. Zscaler hasn't.
Oh, okay.
So Zscaler we're going to wait for, but on the Zscaler point of view, again, another great story, but it's much more expensive than Fortinet. So I prefer the Fortinet story just on fundamental valuation point of view.
Wolf, I just want to talk about AGL quickly because I was having a look at
Yep.
and look, just struggling, aren't they? Remember we were talking about having a bid, but why you've got to wait till the end of the week, and look, down they go again.
Yeah.
And do you know what? That's also against Credit Suisse just put an outperform on them with an 820 target price, which often you sometimes get a bit of buying when the big boys come in and recommend it, and down she goes again.
There you go. Right. So for me, the fundamentals, like I said, I'm just not quite ready for this yet story. So maybe they're listening to me.
Listen, Wolf, thank you so much for those. I know you took a lot of time to find those 5 US stocks. We need to talk more about US stocks because we have a we're following them ourselves and we're looking at them all the time. And thank you very much for those, Wolf. And everything you do is always brilliant. So thanks, Wolfie. And live. Oh, two things. Live, obviously, in 1 hour and 15 minutes. And also, I think that if anybody hasn't done the Cincinnati course, we are doing another one at the end of this month, Wolf.
Yeah. So please drop us a line if you're interested, and we'll obviously get back into contact with you and put you on that course. That will be, I think, the last week of February, Dave. I can't remember what day it is, but we can obviously have a quick look at that and talk about it tomorrow.
Okay. On that. All right. Thanks, Wolfie. See you.
All right. See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.